10 reasons women are irrational. Number 1, because they should be. Women are meant to complement men. Men have the task of being the logical, masculine provider and figuring out the structures of the world, and then the women get to add their feminine, playful, and illogical, more emotional, fun energy to the equation, and you get a functional society. Number 2, because when you deal with young children, you need to be irrational. It's irrational to even want to have a child grow in you and have to lactate and be there through their noisiness and the children's dysfunction and patience for the child. So it's very useful. Now, number 3, when women think that dating is a good idea and that's the most efficient way to get the man they really want, if they want this masculine kind of alpha type guy, but they think dating's the way to do that, all it is them giving away their value. They're giving away their body, which is the woman's value in a sociological sense. And then the man is not giving his value of the life commitment, which is his kind of, his money, his energy, his life commitment. That's his sociological asset. And number 4, when women start engaging in debates, they usually withdraw themselves because they're risk averse. They don't really get excitement out of challenging and debating. They prefer to cooperate and work with people, and that has its value, of course. Number 5, some women are rational, but that is a consequence of maybe they had to get out of their feminine and go into their masculine, which, by the way, is what all women have to do, and men, to operate as a provider for yourself. If you're going to be doing that, you have to be in your logical approach to life and deal with people and situations in a logical and systematic way. Otherwise, you're not going to function. And so, but the problem is that if a woman really thought about it, which women can't really think like that, is she would think that, hey, I want to be in my feminine and I want to be able to celebrate my feminine woman energy, and the only way to do that is by surrounding yourself with men, like, be it male guardian figures, be they not just father, but uncle, brother, grandfather, or any non-biological relatives who would be willing to look out for them. People like at a church, say, or pastors, people who do not want to be intimate with them, but do want to look out for them. But there's a trade-off, which many women don't realize, especially single mothers. They don't realize that if they want to have a man provide for them as a single mother and their child, then the trade-off has to be for taking that responsibility as a man is authority. That's why a woman should take a man's last name. But by the way, he's sacrificing just as much. He's sacrificing, his life, but she has to make sacrifices too. She has to want to be under his name. She has to want to follow his lead. And the brilliance of this day and age is people don't have to do these things. Like in the past, pretty much it was obligatory. You had to coexist and survive by being in that playing those roles. But now we can choose to play those roles based upon a man and a woman deciding that, hey, they have the same values. And even though either of them could be the provider, it's more meaningful to have the woman be able to enjoy being in her feminine and the man enjoy being in his masculine, and the woman want to support him in that. And maybe that means less vacations and less buying of new things, and so that he can work and she can be in her feminine homemaker frequency. But it's all based on having the same values and interests. And guess what? Men are irrational as well. But that has more to do with a lack of post-nut mental clarity. And you can resolve that through daily self-intimacy as a man. And I'm always encouraging men to use these different, there's something called the main squeeze Sophie D. There's a model called Sophie D, and I think that's particular Doc Johnson product is the way to go. And people should always be trying to increase their pleasure. They should, this is another thing of the irrationality of women is, this is probably what point number 7 is, they think that they have to wait for a man to, have intercourse. No, they can have intercourse with themselves, with toys, and they should, because they should enjoy their bodies well. And so what I'm suggesting is that men, if they're around women and their mind will try to make them follow the woman, because what do women think they want? Women think they want to be, dates and be like showered with, gifts and stuff, but all that is manipulation. Because unless you're married, you shouldn't be dating at all, and you shouldn't be receiving anything from men, because it makes you feel psychologically obligated to them to give them your body, be it because of dates or whatever, and it puts you in an environment where only predatory men would operate like that, and so as a woman, it's actually more courageous to want to own your feminine potential and say, hey, I want to be a woman, and be able to enjoy being in my feminine, but that's going to require a male containment is actually what a YouTuber named Teal Swan describes it as. It's containment. And it's something that the woman can choose as a powerful person. And it's a bit of a paradox, because it's like choosing who to give up your power to so that they will look out for you so that you can be in your feminine. But that's what society should celebrate. Just like how I celebrate the woman's flower as the defining feature of our human experience. And more than anything else, such as all these things of men trying to think about their bodies, their privates, other technology and cars and whatever. No, let's make it oriented around ourselves as human beings. And so, yes, it's a clickbait title of the 10 ways women are irrational. I've also suggested that men are irrational as well. And so it's all about logic and the logical steps to finding the right person. And the way I think it's possible is by the man knowing he's ready and being financially and emotionally ready. And then if he sees a woman, he should look at her, and if she gives him nonverbal cues of interest, he should approach her and say, hey, my goal in life is to get married, something like that. And then he can ask her, how about you? Would you like my email, or you can look me up on social media, and you should also be saying, if you're interested, let the men in your life know, let your fathers know. And in a perfect world, you actually are able to meet you're like, in traditional environments, it was like all the men trusted each other, and they were together, and none of them would engage in premarital intimacy, because they all respected each other. They respected each other's daughters, they respected each other's sisters and future wives, and wouldn't want to dilute any of those experiences of marriage by there being premarital intimacy with different people. And the final reason of women's irrationality I'm going to present is that women seem to have this thing where and feminism seems to suggest that that's a defining aspect of freedom, the woman doing whatever she wants with her body. But with freedom comes responsibility, and to actually be free, you need to create boundaries. You need to create a structure and a value system, and orient yourself around people who will respect and protect you, instead of trying to take you on dates to seduce you, instead of trying to say that you should do whatever you want. Like, the only men who would co-sign with that whole thing is men who don't want to be masculine men who don't want a feminine follower wife, men who don't celebrate the feminine, and men who just want the woman's body, and they're not even in the vibration of love. They don't really know who they are, so they're not ready for marriage, they're not ready for love, they're not ready for a life commitment. And don't be fooled by all these terms like dating, relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, seeing each other. It's all a lie. It's all premarital intimacy. It's all unloving. It's all unclean. It's all creating distrust in society, because people are messing with each other's women, and it is disrespecting the feminine. So there you go. Remember, shieldheart.org and my website, yaywife.com, for those who like the idea of a wife. And maybe if you don't like the idea of a wife or what I've presented here, let's debate about it. And if you could take a deep breath and relax, breathe. It's a lot of information I'm putting out there, but all you got to do is look at the statistics that indicate what marriages really work. And those are the ones where both the man and the woman have had no premarital intimacy, where they are religious in the sense that religion is kind of misleading, because it says that, just believing in a God is what'll save you. But no, really what it is the actions that preserve society and the social structure through family, those family values. That's really what the actions of working on those values, that's what creates a sustainable humanity. And let's debate about it. Look at all the stats of how families do, how children do when they have a father in the family, and so on. And it's a little complex, but I have lots of ways to avoid premarital intimacy, how and why. You can look that up on my website or on my other TikTok videos. But hey, let's start this conversation. It may not be easy to do, but if you have a counter argument, put it in the comments and I will respond to it. I read your comments.